Let's take a look at the chart action for HBAR. Alright, so this one was a request from one of my Patreons, so let's jump into it. Here's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm thinking it might be a little bit bearish, or at least we might be at some target areas that we might have been targeting if I was looking at this chart. So we came up. In general, we had some resistance right here, and we have some resistance right here. We have support right here and support right here. What I was looking at, we're on the weekly time frame. Let's do some trend lines, maybe something like that. That's our top line, and then maybe a bottom line, something like this. We're in this channel pattern right now. Until we break this trend line to the upside or to the downside, I'm just assuming that we're kind of going in this channel pattern. But right now, what I don't really like is that we're getting higher highs on this, but we're getting lower highs on the RSI. So right now, we're on the weekly time frame, lower highs, higher highs. That's a bearish divergence, and I'm just kind of curious if that's going to be a bearish signal or we're going to be able to break to the upside of this little channel pattern. The other thing I'm looking at is we have support right here and support right here. Let's do another trend line going up like this. This is actually a weekly time frame, so this actually video should be pretty good for a while. But what I'm looking at is we have a support line going up like this, and then we also have this resistance line right here. Until we break to the upside or the downside, we won't know, but it looks like we're trending up. What I was going to say is, if I was going to throw more money into this, or if I was going to invest in this and I was actually thinking about it, I would look for these previous support levels, maybe something like this. And we have another one right here, something like that. We got to have support right here and support right here. So these levels are sitting around .24 and around .33. We've been testing this uptrend for a while. So I think if we break it going to the downside, those are the levels that I would look at to buy back in. But I think if we keep going on this uptrend and we can break through this resistance zone right here, then maybe we can target from the top to the bottom of this channel, drag that to the breakout, and look for a target at around .70, approximately. So those are the bullish and bearish scenarios that I'm kind of thinking. If we broke to the top side, then I would maybe throw in an order right here to see if we could ride that momentum. But I would do a small order just in case it wicked up and then it came back down real quick, or if it just kind of was like a fake out. So I think in general right now, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like this is the all-time highs. So might want to be careful on this area right here. You might want to wait for retracement till you start buying back in. But if we break out of this resistance zone, like I was saying, then it could lead to a big spike. I was also, like I was saying, to watch that bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. I think this chart, the weekly, looks probably the cleanest. If we go to like the daily, it looks like if we delete everything, the trend lines, I don't know, we could do some trend lines on this chart as well. I really liked the way the chart was looking on the weekly. It just looked pretty clean in my opinion. We could also do that bottom trend line on this chart right here. Maybe something like that. Oh, this was the other thing I was kind of looking at on this chart. On the daily time frame, we have resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. We are sitting in this kind of resistance zone, something like this. I think if we break out of here, let's do a top trend line, maybe something like this. This looks kind of slightly like sushi, where we had a big run up and then we kind of came down and then we were kind of in a channel pattern. So what I'm thinking is, if we can break this going to the upside right here, if we could break this resistance line going to the upside, we can target from the top to bottom, kind of like the sushi video I just did. And then we'll be looking at a target. If we drag that from the top to the bottom, something like that, drag that to the breakout. If we could break that top line, then we could look at a target of around .53, which brings us up to the previous resistance area. So yeah, I would say in the shorter time frame, if we could break out of here, maybe 53. If not, I'd be just watching this channel pattern for a break to the upside or to the downside. If it breaks to the downside, like I was saying, I would be watching this previous support, or maybe this trend line coming up right here. There's also this 180 moving average that's coming in right here. This looks like it's around .27. So here's a couple levels that I would be watching, something like that. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys hold HBAR, hit the thumbs up button, or let me know if you think I should invest in it. Shout out to my Patreons. Thanks for the support, guys. If anyone's interested in getting custom videos or user requested videos that I don't usually do, check out my Patreon. But in general, thanks for the Patreons for the support. Alright, if you guys like that video, hit that thumbs up button.